previously mentioned, if anyone has a question, use the hand raise function. We're going to go ahead and get started in English before moving into Spanish. So we'll get started with a couple questions in English. The first question will go to Scott French. Scott, your line is unmuted.
Hi, Javier.
Hi.
You're going into your first Clasico with LAFC, and I'm wondering, what are the feelings like going into it, and how much does the circumstance that you're playing in Orlando, that Carlos is not going to be a part of this game, that there are not going to be the fans that have so much in making this rivalry what it is, that those things won't be there? How does that affect those feelings?
I mean, I don't think they affect the feelings, because my feeling is try to play all the games like they were derbies. Obviously, I understand the situation. I understand the derbies. I've been in my whole teams. In all the teams that I've been playing, they have like important derbies, So I understand that, but like you explained it yourself as well with the circumstances. In my mind, for example, I tried to play my last match as well, like if it was a derby, like if it was my last game, I tried to do the best. I tried to do whatever I can and whatever I think is the best in that moment to help my team. So, I mean, obviously, to speak about derbies right now in these circumstances is a little bit complicated. And even though we want to show to the people that obviously it's a derby, it's a Tráfico, they will love to be in the stadium supporting us and everything. It's a little bit complicated. To play without fans, without noise and everything. But I mean, it's a very important match for us because we need to get the win if we want to qualify, So, and it's against the LAFC, about the Tráfico, even though that Carlos is not here. I mean, yeah, it's a very important match, but it's a match. It's a football match. With these circumstances, we felt it already, so we know what is that about. And then, yeah, we're gonna go and give our best on Saturday, and then hopefully we can get our first 3 points and keep open our chances to qualify.
Next, we're going to go to Damian Calhoun. Damian, your line's unmuted.
Hey, Javier, how you doing?
Hi, good, you?
Good. Just, you're a couple of days past Monday's game. What positives can you take from that game, and how close do you think you guys are to finally getting everything together on the field to where you can get your 3 points?
I mean, the important thing is we need to get a win. In the last, even before the pandemic, we couldn't get the 3 points. I think that's what we want in soccer, in football. Sometimes you can be at top level and you don't get the results, and sometimes you are not on your 100% level, and then the results and everything comes along. So I think we need to get a win, and hopefully we can do it this Saturday, because I think this team needs it to get like a very good momentum, a very good rhythm, timing, and everything. So yeah, we're gonna try to do our best to get that, and then like I said, not to maintain our possibilities to qualify in this tournament is next Saturday. We want to win, and then see what happens.
Next, we're going to go to a question from Jim Alexander. Jim, your line is unmuted.
Thanks. How you doing this morning? Afternoon, where you are. Given the fact that you hadn't had a match in 4 months, now you're playing without fans, you're playing in the bubble, you're playing in basically a sweatbox. How different is it right now compared to normal games, normal soccer?
Would you describe it already? I mean, I don't need to describe it. It's without fans, it's without noise, it's not in a stadium. In the times we're playing, because of the weather of Orlando, it needs to be very early, the kickoff or very late, So I mean, yeah, it's completely different. You need to be here to feel it in that way, but in words, how I can explain it's completely different. It's completely different. Obviously, it's like if you go and work in your office and there's no one there. You're yourself with a computer, or you're working by home like you. It's completely different. It's completely different, of course. But yeah, we're trying to do our best to make this tournament as good as possible, and we can entertain the people. They can watch soccer. They can enjoy the matches. But obviously, it's complicated. We don't need to hide that. We don't need to lie about it. It's completely different. It's complicated, but we are trying to do our best. That's what is this about that we're trying to do our best in these circumstances to try to deliver the best that we can, and then hopefully everyone is going to be happy and the results are going to be very positive. But if not, in our world, these times are a little bit crazy, a little bit different, and a little bit complicated.
Do you change your approach at all, given the
No.
conditions?
I mean, for some people or for us, in the circumstances that were like the normal circumstances, you can find more motivation, more things, but that depends on each player. You know, for me, I see the football match and I try to do my best and go for it. You know, it doesn't matter if it's with a lot of people or with less people, with a full stadium or without even in a stadium. You know what I mean? My approach is try to give my best every training, every match, and then hopefully the results can come in a positive way.
Thanks. We have time for one more question in English. We're going to go now to Charlie Boehm. Charlie, your line is unmuted.
Javier, thanks for your time today. You mentioned the weight that after the other game last night or the other night that you have feel a weight or a pressure, and I wonder if you could explain a little bit about how you're approaching this challenge at this point in your career. How do you find the balance between intensity and sort of the flow and the balance that you want?
I mean, I laugh because I'm gonna repeat the same. You know, we're trying to do our best every single day. I mean, with or without pressure. I mean, it was complicated to play a match after 4 months. You know, and not only for me, even for another team, for another teammates, for all of us over here. So, I mean, we just need to be grateful that we can do what we love most. Or I mean, in my life, in my part, I love to play soccer, I love to play football. So I'm gonna try to do the best as I can every single day, and then adapt myself in any circumstances. You know, like the last question I described a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, we're trying to do our best. We didn't get a positive result last match, and then hopefully on Saturday we can get our first victory, our first 3 points, and then I think that will help a lot the team and give us that kind of momentum, confidence, so we can keep going.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're going to move into questions in Spanish now. We're going to open with a question from Fernando Schwartz. Fernando, your line is unmuted.
Thank you, Chris. Gusto en saludarte, Javier. 2 preguntas. La primera, ¿por qué el Galaxy fue tan diferente en el segundo tiempo que en el primero y qué crees que hay que ajustarle al equipo?
Oh, Fer, pues tú sabes, a veces el partido así es. Puedes empezar muy bien y terminar muy mal, o viceversa, o puedes mantenerlo 90 minutos. Así es esto. La verdad, yo creo que también el rival cuando hizo el gol, el primer gol, trataron de nada más de manejar un poco más el resultado. Ya no se fueron tanto al ataque. Yo creo que trataron de manejar mejor el partido, y nosotros, bueno, tratamos de ir al frente porque queríamos buscar el empate, después la expulsión, después también ellos marcaron el otro gol. A fin de cuentas son las circunstancias del partido, y como equipo pues hay muchas cosas por mejorar, hay muchas cosas que se hicieron bien. Vamos a tratar de mostrarlas el sábado, esas cosas que hicimos bien, mantenerlas, y obviamente las negativas pues cambiarlas y mejorarlas.
Javier, ¿por qué crees que se polariza tanto tu imagen y sobre todo en los medios mexicanos? Que si fallas un penalti ya eres el peor, que si metes un gol ya eres el mejor. O sea que tu figura se ha polarizado demasiado, o para bien o para mal, como que no hay término medio en la crítica hacia ti.
Pues sí, pues hay que preguntarle eso a la gente y cada uno dirá su opinión.
All right, next we're going to go to a question from Fernando Ceballos. Fernando, your line is unmuted. Fernando, are you there? All right, we'll maybe try to come back to Fernando Ceballos. We're going to move on now to John Rojas. John, your line is unmuted now.
Thank you, Chris. Javier, can you hear me? ¿Me escuchas?
Sí, claro.
Javier, ya revisado el partido, el video, lo que hayan trabajado con Guillermo y con el cuerpo técnico, ¿cuál es el elemento que más tienen, se van a enfocar más para este enfrentamiento con el LAFC, en modificar o en hacer, no sé si mejor o profundizar lo hecho bien, pero ¿qué elemento principal?
Que venga Guillermo, que él te responda esa pregunta. Yo como jugador y nosotros como jugadores estábamos recuperándonos después del partido. Yo creo que a partir de hoy empezaremos a hacer cuestiones tácticas y muchas cosas por mejorar, pero más que palabras, vamos a intentar mostrarlas el sábado y ojalá el resultado salga positivo, ¿no? Como lo dije también en la pregunta cuando Fer me preguntó de por qué el primer tiempo y por qué el segundo es, aunque el sábado, imagínate, puede pasar cualquier escenario, podemos jugar increíblemente y a lo mejor perdemos y a lo mejor podemos jugar de una manera no tan agradable, las cosas no salen, pero el resultado no sale positivo. Eso es el fútbol, es lo bonito de este deporte. Así que, bueno, lo único que sí está claro y que tenemos en nuestra mente es que queremos mejorar en todo, no nada más en una cosa o en un aspecto, sino en todo, y ojalá lo podamos mostrar cada uno individualmente a favor del equipo. Yo creo que va a elevar el nivel futbolístico del equipo y podemos acercarnos a poder conseguir nuestra primera victoria.
Thanks. We're going to go back to Fernando Ceballos. Fernando, your line is unmuted. Can you try to speak?
Ahora sí, Javier, creo que me escuchas. Te mando un fuerte abrazo, gracias por tu tiempo. Preguntarte, ya lo decías en inglés, ¿no? Evidentemente la rivalidad del Galaxy y del LAFC va más allá de la rivalidad de Chicharito Vela, pero no sé si a ti sí te queda un sentimiento especial, si tenías ganas de enfrentarlo ya a Carlos directamente en un duelo tan importante como este.
Sí, obviamente es bonito el estar cerca de gente que estimas y que quieres mucho, ya sea jugando con ellos o jugando en contra. Obviamente, pues no se va a dar y es una pena no nada más para el tráfico, sino también para la liga. Sabemos que Carlos es el jugador más valioso y que le ha dado muchísimo en estos 2 años a esta liga para que crezca, para que tenga una mejor imagen a nivel mundial. Así que claro que es una pena no nada más para el tráfico, sino para toda la liga.
Awesome.
Preguntarte, Javier, nada más, ¿sentiste que ya con el gol que marcaste la otra vez se te quita un poco esa presión que había de que te habían llegado pocos balones, que no había tenido tanta llegada? El equipo se vio mejor, te llegaron mucho más balones y por fin consigues tu primer gol en MLS.
Sí, a ver, que se me quite algo, no va a cambiar nada. Lo único es que, como bien tú lo dices, es algo no para mí, sino para el equipo. Da igual que el que esté al frente. Yo creo que el equipo ya mostró una idea ofensiva un poco más clara o al menos más elaborada y con muchísimas más oportunidades. Y bueno, y como bien te lo he dicho, el delantero es el primer defensa en todos los equipos que he estado. Todos los entrenadores tienen esa misma idea y también el primer delanteros desde el portero, ¿no? Así que todos aquí atacamos, todos defendemos, todos tenemos que mejorar muchísimo nuestro nivel individual, elevarlo para ponerlo al servicio del equipo y así yo creo que por consecuencia el equipo va a mejorar mucho.
Awesome. Thanks, Javier. That's all the time we have for him today. To get everyone else in the conference, we'll begin shortly with